everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm glad that I am currently sitting in front of my camera and doing a video. This may not be a rocket science video. It's just a little talk about what to do when you get sick and you need to take care of yourself, and how to make yourself feel better. So I thought I'd just come on and chit chat with you a little bit about that. As you know, when you get sick, it really can throw a monkey wrench into things, and it just depends on, you know, basically what your sickness is. You know, we all tend to catch a cold seasonally, or sometimes, you know, we just have issues with sinuses, and but I just thought I would share with you just maybe some of my do's and don'ts about getting ill, and what to do to comfort yourself. So first of all, just let me say that I've been here in the state of Alabama for a year, so I'm just getting exposed to all of the different types of pollens that are out there and allergies. And I just have to say that, you know, sometimes you struggle with them, sometimes you don't. Now, when I was living in the Midwest, Illinois area for about 23 years and then moved to Tennessee, but the area that I moved to Tennessee was kind of just basically on the border right outside of Kentucky, and some of those pollens and allergens were pretty familiar to what I was exposed to, so I never really had any grave difficulty. But moving here, I certainly have. So it kind of started out with some eye issues back in the fall, and I just was having a lot of watery eyes, itchy eyes, and my eyes were periodically very bloodshot, and so I was on an allergy type prescription for my eyes, which seemed to help somewhat, and then it progressed to get worse, and my eyes were constantly tearing, especially if I was getting stuffed up. Even if I was just in the house a certain time of day, I would just get so stuffed up and my eyes would start watering, and then if I went outside, they would just constantly water. And so it got to the point where when I went to the eye doctor for my yearly check, she's like, "Whoa, what is going on with your eyes? They're awful. They're so bloodshot." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a lot of issues." So she put me on a different type of allergy meds for my eyes, and I just couldn't figure it out. After 3 weeks, I'm like, I think I'm getting worse. So I kind of laid off and went back to the old ones, and then it was a little better, but then it wasn't. And so I just kind of tried to proceed. And then I came down with just runny nose, you know, itchy ears, watery eyes, itchy eyes. And it got to a point where my allergy medication that I was taking, which is usually, I'm always on Flonase and Allegra, just wasn't working. And so visit to the doctors and a steroid pack, and cleared it right up, and it really helped my eyes. And then of course, just periodically, you know, I would feel bad a couple of days and just have some allergy issues, lots of sneezing and, you know, runny nose and stuff, and it would clear up, but just never really felt 100%. And then after I took the steroid pack, it really did help a lot, and I noticed that my eyes had gotten better. And then about the beginning of February, started to weather changed, warmed up a little bit. It just got so out of hand. Sorry, I see a piece of my hair. It just got so out of hand, and my eyes were just constantly watering and tearing. And when I'd wake up in the morning, they would just kind of be somewhat having some crusty, and you know, this part of my skin under my eyes was so sore, and just, I mean, it was just terrible, and I just couldn't seem to get a grip on it. Then finally, at the very end of February, I just woke up one morning and everybody around me was suffering from allergies and just, you know, hacking, coughing, sore throat, and kind of started that way for me. So I started right away on the over-the-counter stuff and taking my sinus stuff, and after 4 days of that, I had such a horrible, horrible headache. I was like, okay, I've gone through NyQuil, DayQuil, Advil, sinus, cold, and remedy, whatever, and I'm just getting sick to my stomach. I had so much sinus pressure in my teeth and jaw area and eyes, and I finally went to the clinic, because the day that I decided I'm going to the clinic, I couldn't get into the doctor's because, you know, I had to drag my feet. So number one, ding, what not to do. Don't drag your feet, especially if your drainage is changing colors. And, you know, I don't want to gross you out, but you know what I mean. If it's not clear and it's getting to that green shade, it's infected. I was so swollen and so puffed up. It's all I could do was just to turn my head. Went to the clinic, said, oh yeah, you're a mess. You're a mess. You have acute sinusitis. You know, we got to get you turned around here. So, of course, prescription for antibiotic, prescription for heavy-duty cough medications. Then at that point, the ears are clogged up. So now I've got some can't taste, can't smell, can't hear. And I didn't realize how clogged up my ears were. I didn't have any pain in them, but I had a couple of days where they just felt very itchy and, you know, all of that. And so I thought, okay, I'm on my way. I'm on antibiotic. Day one, well, of course, you know, you can't expect miracles. Day two, no better. Sinus pressure. Taking the, you know, Advil. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. Day three, day four. Now I'm done with the antibiotic on day 5, and I am not any better. And honestly, it was just horrible. So I'm thinking, okay, another trip to the clinic. Back to the clinic, new antibiotic, another 10 days of antibiotic, go through new cough medicine, you know, quit taking the sinus meds, Allegra, take this cough medicine, let's get you dried up in there. Okay, 3 days later, still not any better. Call the doctor back again. Okay, switch you to this, to that. Oh my gosh, my teeth just hurt. I cannot tell you how many boxes of tissue I went through with this constant, and yet I am sitting at home sometimes curled up on the couch with a nice warm cozy blanket, and the TV is so loud that my husband's like, okay, was your mom in here watching TV? No, just me. And he goes, now you know I always have the TV turned up. And he goes, but my gosh. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? My hearing can't be that blocked. And then, of course, the next day, my son comes over and goes, whoa, Mom, you got that TV blaring. You're kidding. Now, I knew it sounded muffled, but I was thinking, really that bad? And when I looked at the volume number, I was like, whoa, I'm in the 30s. I'm never in the 30s. So, anyways, yeah, no. I need a sip. I'm getting a little dry. I don't want to make this long drawn out, but anyways, not any better, not any better. And finally, had to wait 5 days to get in, but back to the doctors. And then I had to get a steroid injection because that was what was going to take care of. Still had buildup of fluid in the ear, and that's what was making me dizzy. And that's what was kind of keeping me down. And so since the steroid injection, I'm better. I'm better. And I can hear better. Been able to lower the TV, so that's good. But still have some clogged issues and still a little bit of pressure. But it's going to take, you know, I'm up moving around. Yay! But anyways, I wanted to talk to you about just some of the things that, you know, I did that were good and some of the things I should have done to remind myself. So that's why I thought I'd share this video with you. First of all, my gosh, stay hydrated. Seriously, stay hydrated. Now, my head felt like a stuffed pumpkin. And at any given time, I just thought, it's just going to explode. I was literally puffy. And the doctor said to me, okay, I can tell you're so swollen. And you could just feel it. It was just that uncomfortable. But it was hard to stay hydrated. I tried so hard, but I just felt I had so much drainage. It was hard to swallow. You know, the throat was inflamed and infected. Didn't feel good. So that was really hard. And then one day when I went to the cabinet to pull out a cup, my finger here, if you can see it there, just slightly touched under the cabinet. And I mean, my skin just sheared. Sheared? Yeah, like an elderly person's skin can just shear. I was like, it just folded and sheared. I'm like, wow, I am super, super dehydrated. So I had to really force myself to drink. And so I kept everything in a nice, cool thermal container, whether it was hot or cold, just so I could get myself to sip. And that is just so important, you know, to just make sure you keep yourself hydrated. And I really lacked in that area. The other thing, the doctor said, I want you to get some good old-fashioned VICKS. I'm like, what? VICKS? You mean that goop my mother used to rub on my neck and chest when I was a kid? Yeah, they still make that stuff? Yeah, because at night, I want you to put this under your neck area, and if you want, you know, just slightly right here, just to keep your passages somewhat open, help you sleep a little better. I'm telling you, it worked. It worked. And even though I'm still having some difficulty actually smelling it, I can smell it now. I just couldn't smell it at all, but it did comfort and it did soothe and cool me to keeping myself upright when I was sleeping, and it was soothing. So an old, good, reliable VICKS Vapor Rub. It was great. And then, yep, some may think it's a gimmick, some may say it's just a fad, but you know what? My little roller, my roller here, my rose quartz roller, whether it's jade or rose, I can't tell you how soothing it was just to gently roll this area and even down in my jaw area. It's so cooling because I was just so acutely congested with all of that infection. It felt great, and especially when I had a bit of a headache pressure just to roll, I kept one in the refrigerator to keep it super cold and one at the nightstand, and I used this a lot. It was very soothing. I mean, believe it or not, this little tool came in so handy. And I have to tell you, still suffering from a lot of darkness and swelling under my eyes because, like I said, it was, I think if you could have looked through my skull and my head, you would have just seen neon green. You know that commercial that they do about Mucinex, and I also took Mucinex, but it helped a little, but not a lot. And they have that green globby thing, you know, that kind of wants to attack you and get smacked around. And it's perfect because that's exactly what you feel like you got a 500-pound one of those things living inside your head. And fortunately, and I'm blessed and thankful, it didn't get into my chest. So that I was grateful for. And another thing I want to talk about is do whatever you need to do to keep yourself comfortable. Now, I think loose clothes, not worrying about getting up and getting dressed if you don't have to. And thank God I'm not working, because I would have probably been fired, because I was down for 3 weeks. And yes, I would say there would be a day that, you know, I actually had to go to the store after my husband left, or, you know, do something that had to be done. But it was all I could do to just get up, put a comb through my hair, brush my teeth, and, you know, get out and come right back home. But wear nice, loose-fitting clothes. Keep your skin clean, because you're constantly rubbing your face, your nose is running, your eyes are itching. Keep your skin clean and moisturized, whatever that regimen is for you. And I have to say, I was really, really good about that. And I just kept comfy, loose t-shirts and my sweats on, and just, you know, curled up with my favorite blanket, and, you know, whatever you have to do to situate yourself to keep, you know, it not to get worse. Just do it. And I have this sweet little, this is my rice bag. It's actually a table placemat. And I just bought this placemat, and as you can see, I sewed. It was kind of cute because it had these little scalloped edges, but I've had this for, oh my gosh, I probably made this like about 5 years ago. And then fill it with rice. Into the microwave it goes. I just do it for like a couple of minutes, depending on how hot your microwave is, because you can see you don't want to leave it unattended. I thought yeah, because it will spark. So I do it for about a minute, and then maybe another 30 seconds, another 20 seconds, and just keep my eye on it. But it gets so warm, and I can't tell you how comforting and soothing that was, just to rest my ear on it, because my ear wasn't causing me a lot of ear pressure where it was painful, but it just felt good and soothing because it was so clogged up. And then I'd switch sides, and then sometimes I would just hold it across my chest, and it was just so comforting. And it's just a rice bag. You know, your family will just like either love or hate you, because if somebody's sleeping and you're warming your rice bag up at midnight, it smells like popcorn, and then it wakes them up and like, who's cooking popcorn, you know. But anyways, love this rice bag. And when I was living in Illinois, you know, just at home, and it was cold, and, you know, you want to cozy up with your blanket, and this is great because you can just wrap your hands in it, and warms up your hands, and just hold it, and oh, it's just like a little comfort pillow. So that's another thing. And then, of course, you know, when you're just laying around and you're like bored out of your gore and you don't have the energy, pick up a good book, get caught up on your reading or your magazine reading, and, you know, thank heavens. Ooh, my light came on. Thank heavens for good books and Netflix, because that's really what got me through. And especially in between, you know, when I'm reading and then taking a dose of cough medicine, like that reading's not going to last too long. But I got through a couple of books, so that part of it was good. And the other thing I want to say is, which I did not do for myself, but don't wait too long. Get yourself to the doctors. You know, I just treated myself with the over-the-counter. It's just basic out and stuff. And I mean, come on, I ought to know by now, and I know better, what the signs are of infection. And I know when it's out of control with over-the-counter stuff, especially if you're a person who takes other medications for blood pressure and stuff like that. You really want to be cautious and careful about what it is that you're putting into your body and how long you're doing that. And yeah, I was really bad at that, because I know when some family and friends would call, they'd go like, wow, you sound awful, horrible. Have you gone to the doctors? Yeah, like, no. And by the time it just got so bad, you know, then it was like, oh, well, she's gone for 2 days, and, you know, I can get you in later this afternoon. It was like, oh, God. And then, you know, I have to go up the building to the 4th floor, and just the pressure of being outside. I couldn't take it. So I made that first trip to the clinic, and, you know, you get what you get, and then it just wasn't the right. But anyways, I'm on the road to recovery. And my last important thing that I want to say is, number one, be smart about what you're doing and recognize when it's beyond your care. Number two, keep yourself hydrated. So, so, so important. Number three, try to eat. Even if you can't taste or smell, I know it's hard, but even if it's something cold that will feel soothing on your throat. I ate a lot of oranges, a lot of grapes, because it just felt good. And I tried to put something in my system every couple of hours, even if it was small, like a graham cracker or something, because you know, I just didn't want to make myself even weaker. And like I said, plenty of water, lots and lots of water. And one of the suggestions that the doctor made is, since I'm getting new to this area and, you know, my histamines in my body are, you know, not quite cooperating, he told me to purchase some local honey that's made here, so that I can start building up those antibodies and, you know, getting my body more acclimated. So he said, you know, I'd give it a few days, but lots of hot liquids and some honey can really help along the way. And it's true. It's just soothing on your throat, and, you know, drinking as much as you can really helps. Get plenty of rest, and don't force yourself out to get yourself better. Don't think that, okay, I'm on an antibiotic, so I'm instantly cured in 2 days, because if it's that bad, it's not going to be, and you don't want to make it worse. And listen, this is my lifesaver. These are KLEENEX Cool Touch. And seriously, I probably went through 4 boxes by myself, if not more. And one day I sent my husband out because I had regular KLEENEX. And I thought, no, you've got to get these. He says, really? Seriously. These are Cool Touch, and they do feel cool. And they are so soothing on my nose and my skin area, so that it didn't get irritated. So worth the buck. And how can I say this nicely? They hold a lot of boogies. So it's not like you just blow your nose once and have to pitch it, even though, you know, because they're Cool Touch, they're thicker, they hold themselves up, they just feel good. And number two, or I don't even know what number I'm on right now, but yeah, no, I've been rambling. I kept several good lip balms close by, and kept my lips very, very moisturized. And I also made sure that sometimes my skin, because I was so dehydrated, and even though I was keeping it clean and moisturizing it, I used a cool spray on my skin just to also keep it so that this area here wouldn't get so you know, dry and red. And I'm telling you, these made a huge difference. But because before I got these, I had a regular body, and I was so sore. And so coconut oil really helped. Every morning I just rubbed some on, and then lots and lots of good lip balm, and keeping my lips moist. That was just a lifesaver. So, and these are my few little tips about your ordinary cold sinus infection, and maybe some things to do that can comfort you along the way, and just make it a little better. But make sure you get plenty of rest, lots of liquids, some good books, catch up on Netflix, and make the best of it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. it's just one of those informal videos, and I'm just glad to be back, just getting back into the swing of things. So until next time, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Stay well. Bye.